So I've got a table of notes that teachers have entered about these various students, and I can view these through a form which I've created, but sometimes you want to display things as in a report format, like a printout that you could send to someone. So that's what we use reports for. Now, we can just base a report on a table, but typically that table won't have all the data we need in it because it won't pull through that lookups or anything. So what's normal is that you create a query design first. So members notes, and you decide what fields you want. So I want to have name fields. I perhaps want to have the student's tutor as well. And I want to know what the note is. I want to know tags, teachers, and date. Okay, so I'm sorting out which fields I want. I can also specify sorts here, and if I wanted to, I could specify a criteria. I could say only reports on this person. I'm not going to do that in this case. So that's creating the fields that I want to now display in my report. So I'll need to save that as QRY notes for report. I'm trying to be as descriptive as possible in my name there. Close it down, and now I'm going to go to create report wizard. The wizard's always the best place to, it's like the form wizard, it gives you a good starting point. So I have to select the correct place that I'm going to get everything from, which is notes for report, the one I just made. I want all those fields, that's why I put them in the report, in the query. Next, how do I want to view my data? I want to see for each member, I want to see all the notes, so I'm going to do that. At this level, this place we can add grouping levels. So for instance, we could, if I added a grouping level of teacher, we would then see if the student had had lots of entries by one teacher and lots of entries by a different teacher and lots of entries by a different teacher, they would all be grouped together. But I'm not actually going to bother with that in this case. It's not going to be necessary. And of course I could do a sort, which I'm not going to do in this case either, and the defaults tend to work quite well here. And I need to just change the final name RPT so I know it's a report. Done. So I've ended up with this, which as per usual with the first draft of a report is a bit of a mess. You can see I've got some stuff, but it's not great. So let's just hit into design view by hitting close print preview. These are the notes I need to see, and these notes are quite extensive, so I'm just going to, this is, if I just change the size of this and go to print preview, you'll see what it's done. It's put a bigger gap in between each one, so the student, each student has multiple entries underneath, and this is the size of them. So this size here is what I mean. So anyway, let's just make this work a bit better. So that can go over to there. I forgot to put the date in. That's annoying. It's quite tricky to add the date in at this stage when you've already created the report. You can do it. Sometimes it's just quicker and easier to go back and add the date, do it all from scratch rather than trying to fiddle around with it. I'm not going to worry about that right now. So anyway, here's my report. So it needs a bit of work still, doesn't it? So let's just go back to design view. I think what I'll do is I will just make these a touch more bigger. And what's going to be, how about font weight bold? And how about font size nice and big? And looks like I'm going to have to enlarge these fields to fit. You know, just you can fiddle around with this endlessly. Depends on what the purpose of the report is. Let's just have a quick look at how that comes out. Yeah, so there we have got the report on the notes by student as we would want to see. That'll do.